Hello, I'm Asif Farouk of Finextra, and we're here at EBA Day 2015, and I'm with Giorgio Ferrero of MyBank. So, Giorgio, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, good morning.
MyBank has been in the sector for 2 years now. What are some of the key lessons learned from that?
One of the key lessons is that since the very beginning we understood that MyBank is a payment button, but is not for payment only. And since the very beginning we understood that there is the potential in MyBank in protecting the identity of all users, being them consumer, businesses, public administration. This is one key point on which we have also elaborated our projectual activity. The status of today is that we are happy because we started 2 years ago with the e-authorization that gives a chance to authorize an irrevocable SEPA credit transfer. And now the numbers, particularly from the end of last year, but particularly the beginning of this year, we are registering an increase in volume that roughly is around 30% in terms of transaction and value in terms of 40%. So this is very encouraging. And this is not just from Italy. Italy, of course, we have to thank the Italian community for the commitment and the forward-looking way with which has addressed this issue. But now the interest is also, arising from other countries. Time to time, the approach of those communities is a country approach, a community approach. In other cases, we have single banks that want to activate MyBank. I wish just to mention Austria, for instance, more than Spain, more than Belgium, without forgetting Greece, of course, without forgetting someone in the Netherlands. But also, we are registering a growing interest in France and in Germany. So that's the encouraging things, and there is a demand from merchants, which is growing and growing.
So it's good to talk about payments, but let's talk about other sectors. What about identity? How important is identity to MyBank?
Identity, since the very beginning, we have built up the architecture of MyBank based on 3 pillars. But the basement was the same for all of them, the e-authorization. We started with the authorization for the SCT. We have completed the offering, as I said, for the mandates, for SDD mandates. And now we are completing all the work related to the first phase of the identity verification, MyBank identity verification. We have in mind to have a pilot completed for the next fall and be able to go live by the end of this year. What is important now is that banks understand the value of this, because the banks and PSP are in a privileged situation to exploit this opportunity. We live in a society that is more and more demanding about, let's say, digital services, and one of the business drivers is reducing risk of fraud, and to be sure that the identity of the counterpart is exactly what they are telling to be. In the use cases we have seen in examining a different need across Europe, we got a situation where, for instance, the simplest one is when an age is required in order to know if alcohol can be sold or not. We have cases where the identity is requested by government or public administration to prove the identity for paying taxes. Or we have cases for all the clearance activity to identify exactly in a remote way a customer linked to the anti-money laundering requirement and anti-terrorism. I mean, everything that goes under the umbrella of Know Your Customer. And then there is also the chance that through the combination of strong authentication offered through MyBank by the participant of MyBank, together with the authorization, give the chance to subscribe contract in a remote way. This is another important area where we are registering increasing demand from different merchants, different companies. So all the stuff can be offered by MyBank, because in essence, MyBank is an API, not just for payment, but for an exchange of information that could be financial or not financial. And what we have in mind is, and one of our objectives as a Preta company, who is the wholly owned subsidiary of EBA Clearing, that is the owner of the MyBank brand and solution, and also the solution manager, we aim to become one of the key actors in the information market in Europe, because competition already today, but more and more in the future, will be in that specific field.